Hey, welcome back to Fixing Things with Pastor Bill. On this episode of Fixing Things, man, there's my puppy. We're going to try to fix this grill. Now, it's been damaged and we beat a lot of the dents out of it, but there's still some damage in there. There's rust holes and stuff like that. This is where look at that, the camera's sliding. This is where there was a rat's nest on the inside here. I guess all the rat urine and stuff, and on the same side as where the rat nest was, there was this right here. So I want to fix all that up because it's visible. That's visible from the outside. You know, like I said, this is not going to be a show truck, but I do want it to look presentable. So the rust has got to be fixed up. So on this episode of Fixing Things, we're going to see if we can get this grill looking good and get that piece patched up on that thingy right there on the fender. On this episode of Fixing Things with Pastor Bill. All right, the first thing I want to do is get this bezel out of the way and get this broken headlight out of here. Painted that thing black, I don't know how many years ago, but the original color was white. And we got mud dauber's nests and wasp nests. But this thing is rusted. I guess bug stuff's been in it also. I'm gonna keep the screws though. Screws are stainless steel. Man, it's coming apart. Off to the trash can. Now let's take a close look at what needs to be done on this thing. All right, starting over here to the passenger side, got some deep grooves here, and we got some pimples coming out from where we pulled. This was a really big dent, and we pulled that dent out, and it's got some high spots. I think we might be able to hammer those back down, and then put a little bit of putty on it. If we show the profile don't look too bad. It's got a high spot right here. I think we can hammer that down. All up in here, this is a bad spot for trash to get. Trash getting means rusting. All right, so coming down here across the bottom, got some more where this was a nasty dent that went through here, and we got that almost out. I think we can just finish hammering a little bit, maybe take a flapper disc to it. That'll be good. But going back down here is where that rust hole was. Now it's actually pretty solid. This grill is probably close to 12 gauge steel. It's really thick. I think we're gonna try. Might have to patch a plug in here, but all these little pinholes, I think we can just tack it with it's pretty solid. It's got a little spot where the bumper hit it. Probably tap that out a little bit. Like I said, I'm not making it perfect. Here's where another dent was, and we got a little bit of pimples from the hammer hitting. Here, this one came out pretty good. I think all we do is flap that and put a little bit of Bondo on it. This was a big crush dent. It was really bad. and it came out really nice. It's got a hard crease in it here. I think we can just either fill it, or I can just tack on it with a little bit of weld. And then flapper disc, same thing right here. There's a big gouge. Whatever hit this, it was really hard. It was a really bad dent. This is thick steel. This isn't like on your car. This is really thick. This is part of the structure of the. So this grill is actually part of the structure of the front end of the truck. It binds it all together, and you can see there's not just like 2 or 3 screws that holds it on. There's multiples of screw points, and all up across this front lip, right underneath here. I got to put the shield back in there, but you can see there's a lot of bolts. That's because it's part of the structure of the front of the truck. All right, so we're moving our way back up. Inside this bucket, it looks pretty good. We're gonna take both of these buckets out, because if we're gonna paint it. All right, this one here looks pretty good. I think we can tap it just a little bit. Won't be too bad. We'll probably tap that one, probably hit it with the flapper disc real lightly. And use a flapper disc on stuff like this real lightly. This was crushed. I mean, it was pushed in probably 3 inches. And I'm not sure what I'm going to be able to do with that. I could probably still hammer some of this out. But it was bad, and it looks a lot better now. There's a high-low spot right here. I can hammer that out easy. Hammer and dolly. And this is a bad crush. We got it out. It was really deep. You can see the gouge in it. And I'm thinking we're just going to take the welder and weld in that gouge and take a flapper disc to it and smooth it out. You can see where we pecked on it. There's peck marks. Then the whole grill is flat, but the front of the truck has got probably a 2 to 3 degree bend in it. I don't know if you can see that with the camera. I'm lined up with the one side there, and then you come around and you can see there's a curve. So it curves around. And right now the front grille is flat, and when I lay it up here, it sits off the corner edge almost 2 inches. So it means we got to get an inch that way and an inch that way, bent here in the center. We got to roll that smooth. We'll probably bend it across the. That'll probably be the first thing I do, is bend the grill in the center. That way, if we put Bondo or something on it and you bend it, it's gonna pop off, right? We wanna get all the bends and fit it before we do any Bondo work. Let's get started and bend this grill and then fill the holes up on that side over there. Back on this side over here. So right in here, in the center of the grill, there's a hard line. It's not a soft, roundy curve. It's a definite part. So I'm thinking we're gonna lay it over the sawhorse and just try putting some pressure on it. This thing is not light. I'm just gonna put some gentle pressure. think we got it. It's like it wanted to go back that shape. Alright, let me swap around. Maybe we'll do a test fit before we start doing the rest of the body work. Definitely have to do some modification on my hinges. Not bad. I think that's a good fit. I think we need to examine this from the other side, because that's where the rat's nest was sitting, and see how bad it is. So you can see there's pitting, but there's paint all the way around. It's just this one spot right through here. It's pretty solid. I think we'll take a flapper disc to this. See if we can't put a couple tacks on it. Zap, 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 zap. Then come around the other side, do the same, and then flapper disc it. We're just making that hole bigger. Okay, that one's sealed up. Now let's do this big one. All right, you can see what I got done here. These holes actually got bigger. This one's sealed up. I think my heat range might be a little hot. Let's give it a try. All right, let's see if we can make a patch panel for that. So I just want to show you how thick the metal of that grill is. So here's a metal off one of the supports, which is the same size thickness. This is a piece of shovel. So the only reason why Ford would put that thick of metal on that thing is that it's the support. I'm going to use this piece of shovel because it's tempered to fill in those holes. Stick me a magnet behind here. In place. I got it a little bit too long. Got to take a little bit off right here. The rest of it looks pretty good. So 1/4 to 1/8 out. Clamp it. All right, I got the other hole patched in. Did it just like this one, kinda, except I had another hole blow out, and I just kind of patched that one in. The metal was thicker, but should be pretty good now. I think we put a skim coat of mud on that thing and sand it down. I think we'll be doing good. You can see it got some high spots. I did some sanding already. Maybe I'll take the hammer and die to it a little bit. All right, got me some dies and hammers, and this is the one that did all the little pimple marks all over it. So we're gonna work on a couple of these high spots right here. You can hear it when it's right. Not bad. All right. Let's work on this a little bit. All right, so this was a really bad dent. We just got the rough of it out, and it was really bad. So let's try to get some of the high spots back down. So right now we're just gonna work it, that's all. Right now it's rounded off where we beat it. But if we're good, we can make that line come back. So we're trying not to hit that line. We're staying below that line. So now when I hit that with the sandpaper, you can see all the high spots. Still a little high right there. I mean, I'm not getting it perfect. It just, I don't want a bunch of pimples hanging out there. Tap on these a little bit. It's got a lot of bumps in there. It's too wide for that. I'll go ahead and hit that with some high build primer right now. You can see the imperfections in it. All right, we'll let that sit and we'll go on somewhere else. All right, so on this one, this has some kind of deep gouge on it. When we beat on it, the paint kind of came off. Didn't do no grinding on that at all. Like when we beat all the dents out of it, we didn't use no grinding at all. All we did was hammer and dolly, and that was it. And the paint came off from beating on it. So I think it's too stretched. It's sticking up almost a quarter. The metal stick, so I'm thinking we can just zip, 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 zip with the welder and grind it smooth. And I think we'll have it. My reading glasses on underneath my helmet so I can see up close. We're just gonna zap. Little zip here, little zip there. Here a zip, there a zip. Turn the welder back on. That looks better than the one over there. All right, I guess we'll move up this way now. The last time we worked on this here, we just beat the hell out of it. This was crushed, literally crushed. Now we already re-put the bend back in it. Man, that looks so much better over there. Let's see if we can't fix this up a little bit. Let's go ahead and hit it with a little bit of sandpaper to see all my high spots and my low spots. Oh, this is really bent. I think we can get some of that out. All right, let's move my chair over here. So what we're going to do is hit here, and that supposed to be so rounded right there. I don't believe. I think it's supposed to be like a little dip there. So we'll put the dolly flat in this area and just hit here. So when I'm hitting firm like a dead blow, but I'm not hammering it. So you're tapping, but with a little bit of firm. You don't want the hammer to be bouncing all over the place. High spots in there. You can see where it's shiny. You can see where it's dark. Spray some filler primer on it. Move on. Got out of this one. So this one was another really bad crinkle dent. We hammered 90% of it out. We also put this line back in. That's not bad, but we do got some high spots. Let's take the sandpaper on it and reveal the high spots. That's all we want to do is work on the high spots. So we can see we got a lot of high spots and a few little low spots in there. It's actually not bad. hit that with the flapper disc a little bit. All right, I think that's ready for some primer too. And see what we can do with this one here. This was another really bad one. This thing was crinkled all in, and this piece here was actually pushed all the way up into that, and it kind of bulged out and in. So we had to rework this corner. Wife is coming home. She just came back from the beauty parlor and the doctor's office. So, good thing I had a good corner on the other side to match it, because it was really bad. It doesn't look like that because the paint, but it was pretty bad. But I think we can get it. We got that looking pretty good up here, and we got the other ones over there looking pretty good. Let me go talk to my wife. All right, we're gonna do this whole one here in fast motion, so you can actually see the stuff straightening out. This needs to be beat in a little bit right here. Needs to be tapped in right there. Needs to be beat down a little bit right there. That's a low spot actually. Maybe I can tap it from the back side. We'll come back with after that dries. We hit a feeler. All right, take a little sandpaper to it. The original paint is running. All right, now we're gonna see if we can't do some patching on this. It's pitted really bad here, but it feels thick. I think if we cut it down into here, cut it up here, and cut it right on this line right here. Patch it. I think we'll get it. All right, I cut that out. Now I'm going to make me a template and cut me a piece of metal to fit that. All right, so we're going to take a little piece of cardboard and cut this to fit. Take a little bit out of here at an angle. All right, it's not perfect. The bumper comes right through here, so you're really not going to see all of it. This patch that was right here, there was a big spot where you could see that. We fixed a hole that was in the grill as in the same spot, so you could actually see that spot. But this stuff here is going to be behind the bumper. It's got a couple pinholes. We're going to seal it from the back side. I'm not too worried about that. We're just going to make sure it ain't going to rust no more. This ain't a rat rod, and I'm not fixing everything. I'm just fixing this thing so I can drive it, and it looks nice. Maybe one day we'll do a professional paint job on it, but not today. All right, we're gonna let that dry, give it a light sand, and hit it with some orange. All right, it's the next day. And I've been doing some sanding on it. Not done yet. You see the bodywork come out pretty good. Not bad for just primer filler and pick and hammer and dolly. Not bad. It's got some spots in it right there, but it's not perfect. Here's that spot where I patched it. That thing looks good. Right now I'm sanding all these down. All right, so this paint that I'm using only needs to be at about 200, and I'm using 220 right now. So it fills in scratches up to 200. So we're good. Should turn out fairly decent. Maybe. We'll see. See if we can't get this thing painted here. All right, the grill is done. And I think it came out pretty good. I mean, this thing was in bad shape. I was almost about to spend money and get another one. The whole front was caved in almost 4 inches, all down through here. I mean, it's got a few wobblies in it. I mean, this is a work truck. Got a few gnats in it. Earlier there was no gnats at all. Now all of a sudden in the evening time the gnats come out. But that's okay. I've learned this with outdoor painting. All you do is you wait for the paint to cure. Lightly sand it, and pss, 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 and you're good. But that is perfect. I did a lot of body work there. Here is where the 2 holes were. Actually 3, because I burned another hole in it here. That thing came out really good. And once it cures, next weekend I'm gonna put it back on the truck. I'm gonna go ahead and put the grill support and everything in today. You don't even see me do that. But I did all that rust repair here. I painted this yesterday. It's already, and that's nice. Did the rust repair here also. It's the big patch that we put in. And I started doing this one while I was waiting for, I made a mistake over here on this corner, and I put some of that rust converter on it, and it takes 72 hours. So I took some mineral spirits and took it off, and then sanded it down, and put some primer on it. But I started hammering dollying this out right here. This had a big dent in it right here, and we beat it up from the backside, but it had pimples coming out here. So I took my hammer and dolly and I knocked these in, and I started filling in some scratches. I'm gonna go over that, but that's another day. I might paint this whole truck spray can. I'm not gonna do the hood in the top with spray can, but I got a lot of body work to do. Next weekend we'll probably take the doors off and patch those holes up on it. I got to take this side off. This side's off anyways because I didn't put the new lock set on it and stuff. So we'll put the new lock set on it, have it off. I got new JBL speakers, got to go in those doors anyway. So I still got to do some filling on these. So that paint now is over a week old. It's hard. Just got to let it sit in the sun and let it cure. And that's what we're going to do with this grill. Remember, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Man, look at that grill. It's going to look sharp on this truck. It's going to look sharp. The Me-Haul truck is getting closer and closer. God bless each and every one of you. I'll see you next time on Fixing Things with Pastor Bill.